This is Rich Steeves, web editor at TMC. I'm here in Austin, Texas for IT Expo 2012. Joining me now is Bill Ramsey, Vice President and General Manager at Apriva. Bill, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
So Apriva is considered a North American market leader for wireless payment solutions. Can you tell us a little bit about the services that Apriva offers?
Sure. I always try and describe Apriva a little bit like the Intel inside of wireless payments. So if you look at payments on typically on a wireless wide area network, a cellular network, Apriva technology is often at the core of that. The base of our business centers around made-for-purpose wireless terminals, so traditional credit card terminals that are on cellular networks. In that arena, we have about 60+% market share. We also deal with payment endpoints such as smartphones, tablets, vending machines, kiosks, unattended payment points.
So there's a lot of buzz about mobile payments recently. Companies like Google are getting into the space and investing a lot of money. Are merchants and consumers ready to embrace this technology, or is it still early?
Still early. When you look at mobile payments, mobile wallets, and people talk about this in the press, or consumers, merchants, it often revolves around NFC, and it's an obsession with NFC and payments. We think it's broader than just the payment. We think it's broader than NFC. NFC is one particular presentation method. We think barcodes have value. We think there are card-based schemes. We talk a lot about this is going to be an evolutionary versus revolutionary approach to payments. NFC is disruptive. I think it's one way that people can handle payments. But the picture is much larger when it comes to different presentation methods and also the types of things you want to get out of mobile commerce. And we look at mobile commerce as that bigger umbrella. That includes things like, what type of data do I reveal as a consumer? What type of data does the merchant have about me? How are things curated? Why do I get a certain offer for a discount coupons? How do we connect the dots as merchants and consumers about all the data that's being generated? That's the bigger play of mobile commerce. And then if we take it out even farther, multi-channel. What happens when I walk into a retail store versus just buying on the mobile web as one small example?
Well, you already mentioned NFC, near field communications, and its potential to impact mobile commerce. Is it necessary for m-commerce to get off the ground?
I don't think so. You look at even Starbucks and how they've been so successful using barcodes. That's one example of an alternative presentation method. So NFC is not a requirement, and we know for merchants it's very expensive for them to go touch their point of sale. NFC requires specific hardware. There are many compelling use cases, even around technology that merchants have today, like mag cards, that can provide similar experiences, or in some ways better experiences for consumers and for merchants, without the requirement for forklifting in new technology at this point.
Well, so what should businesses and consumers look for, even demand, regarding data privacy in relation to mobile payments?
Sure. When we look at payments, PCI compliance obviously is top of mind. That's why, in part, many merchants are interested in mobile payment solutions. So considering security, do they want to hold cardholder data, or can a service provider such as an Apriva or another company be the service provider, that Intel inside, who handles that for them, takes them out of scope for at least part of what they do with payments? I think that's one of the compelling value propositions for those providers. So they're looking for PCI compliance. They're looking for people who have a pedigree of security. When it comes to Apriva, we have another side of the business that deals with government and the intelligence community, that we do secure mobile messaging for them. So a lot of times we talk about if we can handle classified information,
absolutely,
we surely, I think, are a trusted partner to handle your payment information.
Sure. Now, some of the traditional financial institutions, such as banks, have more or less stayed on the sidelines regarding m-commerce. Is there a role for these providers in that space?
No question. I think it's going to be table stakes for a lot of them. This is becoming a mobile-first, real life and web world second. That if you walk out, and I was walking on the streets of Austin, you have people with their heads buried into their phones all day long. So I think it's table stakes. They're going to have to be involved, and we deal with a lot of those. Customers of ours like First Data, Bank of America, Merchant Services, already on the back end, they are starting to put those components in place, those Legos in place to build those types of services. And in some ways, they're already involved in m-commerce to some degree.
So let's talk a little bit about the future. What can we expect? What technologies can we expect from Apriva in the coming months?
Sure. We have a new version of our payphone or our smartphone acceptance product called Apriva Pay. The new version is called Apriva Pay Plus. It's bringing a little more of a point-of-sale functionality to the smartphone and tablet versus just payment acceptance. So items, inventory, really how does someone operate their business? How do they reconcile cash? How do they take checks? So that's an evolution from the original Apriva Pay, which really was about credit card acceptance. Apriva has always been a company that's dealt with the merchant side of the equation. We're now working on the consumer side of the equation with our mobile wallet platform. One of the first rollouts for our mobile wallet platform has been with our partner Dave & Buster's. So there's a Dave & Buster's application that's now available in the Android market, or Google Play, excuse me, I'm still back to Android market. Google Play and the iTunes App Store, where Dave & Buster's customers can recharge their power cards right from a mobile application, never have to leave the game, or when they go to a different Dave & Buster's in a different town, transfer their balance to that Dave & Buster's. That will demonstrate some of the capabilities of what we can do on our mobile wallet. You'll see more rollouts with that in the new year. And also our move in unattended. And so unattended is everything from vending machines to parking meters, kiosks. M2M, we know there's a lot of buzz about it in the service provider community. You'll see Apriva making some very significant inroads in M2M in the new year.
I'll definitely have to keep Apriva in mind next time I'm playing skee ball
yes,
at Dave &
please do.
Buster's. Bill, thank you for your time, and thanks for talking to us
Thank
today.
you, appreciate it.